Hey everybody, and welcome to Expedition Engineering. Years ago, I fell in love with a dreamer who had a knack for painting a vibrant picture of adventure and then leading us off into an extraordinary life. We worked together building this life, our combined dream. And since then, it's become my new life's passion to figure out, put together, tear apart, and then put back together all of the physical parts and pieces we need to keep all of these dreams afloat. So welcome aboard my life of Expedition Engineering. This is the very first video on this new channel, so everybody's new here, so welcome. My name is Brett, and I live aboard a sailboat named Eva with my amazing wife, Jade, and my two adventure dogs, Dingo and Penny. And for the past couple of years, we've been sailing the world. Right now, we're in the middle of a huge build out of our expedition enclosure, which will increase our solar panel capacity tremendously, which means it's the perfect time to upgrade our galley, getting rid of the most understated threat on our boat, propane. This project is hopefully going to revolutionize cruising for us because this is going to be our new oven. Right now Jade is editing. she's working away and I'm just filming. But yeah, this is our new oven. We decided to go with the Ninja, and Jade had a very specific requirement when we decided to replace our propane oven with this electric one. And that was, she wanted to have two sections. A small one that we could use for, doing toast and little things, and then a bigger one for your normal oven use. And there really aren't a whole lot of options of ovens that would fit in this space. This one seems like it will. Today the goal is going to be get this unboxed, see if we can make it fit, potentially retrofit, maybe gut this old oven and just put this one in there, and then this, which is obviously an induction cooktop. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Unboxed in all of its glory. Do you want to play with it?
A little bit.
So there's the big door, and then I think if we push the button, just a small door.
Cool.
While Jade takes the boxes out, I'm going to explain a couple things. The first being, we are an American boat. Everything in this boat runs on 110 to 120 volt electricity.
From the get-go.
From the get-go. It came that way because it was made in North Carolina, something like that, in the United States. So all the wiring is made for that. We're running into some issues with that because we are in Europe right now. We're in Spain. Everything here is 230. Actually considered converting because we have two Victron Multiplus inverters, and I could wire those to be split phase to make it end up being like 240, which would be close enough, and that would work. Had this version come in European wiring, in 220 to 240 volt, I probably would have bought it and converted at least part of the system over to 240, because that would have been great to be able to just have a 240 run coming over here to a 240 cooktop and a 240 oven, and then maybe we could have a 240 water maker if we want to change out that motor. Everything's a little more efficient being higher voltage. But this oven doesn't come like that, and so it just didn't make sense. So we bought this from the United States via Amazon, imported to here. And that is terrible. It feels like Christmas. Go, all assembled, unwrapped. Close this up. I'll put this somewhere, and we need to disassemble this guy. We'll unmount it. We are completely out of propane. We've been completely out of propane since Punta Delgada, I think. So, before Morocco. So we've been out of propane for a couple months now.
I thought you were out there more. I ended up just getting a really nice butt shot at you.
That's what I'm going for. Look how corroded this is. This is the propane inlet, and I mean that's actually kind of sketch how corroded that is. Which brings us to the main reason why we want to get rid of this, is because propane is dangerous inherently. It is explosive by design. That's why you buy it. Flammable. We've never had any problems with propane other than not being able to get it. But propane is dangerous and has caused problems for boats and for RVs. So being able to get rid of this means there will be nothing combustible in the boat. The only combustible will be the gasoline for the dinghy, which is out there, and then the diesel, I guess, which is technically combustible, but we're really not at risk of that spontaneously combusting or a spark. Diesel really doesn't like to light. You can even drop like a cigarette or even a match into diesel and it won't light because that's not how diesel works. Good news is I just got the fitting off and there's no corrosion even close to the inside. So we were in no danger of this leaking, at least not like eating itself through, but potentially here, this connection, this swivel does not want to swivel at all. That feels good to have that all disconnected. And now I'm gonna put some of that cardboard down on the table and move this oven over there, because that's really the only workshop I got.
Good call on the cardboard.
Thanks. Man, getting rid of this thing is gonna be some weight savings too. Holy cow. Just comparing sizes. It's pretty dang close. It might actually end up being a little bit too wide to be able to use this. This already has all the little gimbal pegs and everything all built in, so I'm going to see if I can just kind of gut this, take out all the innards, and put this inside of this shell. That way the gimbal still works and it still kind of fits the way it was designed to fit in that hole. Otherwise we'll have to make a whole new frame and everything for this to sit in, which wouldn't be terrible. That's just an extra project. Interesting observation. This oven seems so much bigger than this one, but because it has this big space down here for the propane, and then there's a burner up here for broiling, this usable space from the rack to that burner is just under 5 inches. And if we do the same thing on this one, if we go from the shelf to that top burner, it is also just under 5 inches. So this bottom shelf, this bottom oven, is the same size, or width, 14.5. Okay, so we get like 2 more inches of width in the propane one. Probably because of this technology. I've just run into a predicament. This is riveted together and I don't have a drill because our drill is at the workshop. There's this center section that has all the tubing and the electrical and all this should, I think, just go out kind of as one unit, but I have to be able to undo. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rivets.
I'm not working right now. Should I put the computer away, please?
Ta-da! Small problem.
I mean, just cut the oven doors.
Oh, we cut the oven doors. Maybe we should walk the dogs and then we should make something in it. Penny, do you want to go to the beach? After a quick potty break with the dogs, we have decided that we are too hungry to wait to finish this project, to use this project. So we're going to plug it in, make some dinner. Maybe we'll like wash it out. But yeah, we're gonna try out our new oven. Wish us luck. Hello. These racks are the perfect size for our sink to be washed. It's like they planned this.
I have chicken on the bottom, potatoes on the top.
In the air fryer?
In the air fryer.
Sounds intense.
Really loud.
That's a decent amount. 1800. Oh, got it.
I know I was really focused on my Sudoku game, but I feel like that was quick.
It was pretty quick.
Settle for something even more challenging. You see, people
Wow.
change in the maze. Oh, find the copy.
We have a lot of lithium batteries in our boat. We have 1,350 amp hours of Battleborn lithium batteries, and they are incredible. They've been amazing. They've worked for us really well for about 2 years, and over the past year, I've noticed them decreasing in their capacity. Lately, I've been seeing only about 700 amp hours of usable capacity, which is, I mean, if you do the math, just above half. right now we are on shore power. We're in a marina, and so we have shore power. I can charge and discharge these batteries to my heart's content. Okay, no more inverters. That means no more charging, so that means no more shore power, but just to be safe, let's turn it off down here. So now I know for sure there's no electricity coming into the boat. It's staying out. Now we can do the 12 volt side. If I had nothing but time and just wanted to do all projects, I think I would actually take the batteries, put them where the diesel tank is, put the diesel tank where the batteries are, and then also, if there's room, move these inverters back there and put the starter batteries in this box. That way all the batteries are above the water line, or at least a lot higher. Is really, really tempting to do, especially seeing how things went on that crossing.
Are those batteries?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is that I want to test each battery independently to see if we need to, get rid of one, replace one, call it battery, and see what's going on. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect all of them, connect one, discharge it all the way, charge it all the way, and then same go, 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 go. So there we go. So right now, only this far port battery is the only one connected. We're gonna turn everything back on, and I'm gonna reset the Victron to tell it that it only, the servo, that it only has 270 amp hours of capacity, and then I'm just gonna torture test this battery. I just turned on the power and nothing happened. Maybe we have one completely dead battery. 13.6 volts. So that's full, that's full. But this one, 85 millivolts. We'll call that 0. That's interesting because I've checked these before. So one of them being off isn't enough to give us that decreased capacity. I don't think. That math doesn't check out. 13.6, 13.6, 13.6. Okay, so those are all the other ones are totally good, all the way online. Oh man, this might be a big spark. Let's see what it did to that guy. See if it brought it online or what it did here. 13.1. All right, now that I've got that battery back alive, it just had to, for whatever reason, it got kicked off. I don't know if the BMS took, obviously the BMS took it offline, but I'm not sure why, because it's not too low voltage, it's not too high voltage. Now we'll turn this back on and I'm gonna let it charge. And bulk. Well, that took a grand total of about 2 minutes, which means it was completely charged. So let's put this back on inverter only. What's that math, everyone? Do that math for me. We're maybe a quarter of the way of what we should be. That is giving us a low battery voltage. Last discharge was 107.8 amps. You can see our deepest lately, since I've reset this a while ago, was 763, an average of 741. So 100 amps out of that 270 amp hour battery. Instead of just, sitting there watching the paint dry or watching the batteries charge, which I've been doing, kind of a waste of time, I decided let's tackle something else that has been problematic lately, and that is our washing machine. We have a Daewoo Mini. We haven't been using it at all since we've been in this marina. And I tried it the other day just to test all the systems, make sure everything's still doing good. And lo and behold, it didn't work. So I need to figure out why. Oh wow, everything's still wet. It wouldn't take a full dose of water, I guess, however you want to say that. And then it wouldn't spin. It spun a little bit, it would do like, and then stop. And it wasn't like it was catching, it didn't sound bad. It just never spun full speed. And so I don't really know why it would do that. Oh my goodness, check this out. I have no idea what this is from. It's like, I do know what this is from. This is charcoal. This is charcoal from our water filter. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the drain is just completely plugged, 100% plugged. That would have something to do with it. Wow. So let's get all that cleaned out and see what happens. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's gonna work, because it doesn't have water hooked up to it or anything, but let's see if that changes anything about how it thinks about life. So it does the slow spin. Let's see if it speeds up. Well, while we were dealing with the washing machine, this has fully charged. Hook up the number 2, disconnect the number 1, and do the same test. We are now running on the number 2 battery. Drain this battery number 2. Let's go for a quick wash. See what happens. All right, immediately spinning. That's a start. No water yet. We're draining. Like barnacles in here. I don't know how that's even possible. The washing machine fiasco scenario is not going great. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do there. But this battery number 2, I actually numbered the batteries. I drew Sharpie on them so I could keep track of which was which, and wrote down on the little board here. Number 2 currently is at 245. That's all it's gonna give us. Washing machine is still just kind of doing its thing of nothing. It is just doing the slow spin. This is an issue that we're having. So this is the water valve. It isn't taking water in all the time. It keeps getting stuck. So I'm gonna pull it apart, take it off, and see if we got gummed up, see if some of that charcoal is stuck in there. I'm assuming there's a bunch of logic in the unit that's causing, you know, if it doesn't get water in a certain amount of time, then it doesn't spin at a certain speed or something, I don't know. And that's saying, hey, I didn't get any water, so I can't do a wash. We're still waiting for batteries to charge, so might as well keep going on this one. We're ticking away, still working on the washing machine. Made some progress. I can't find the actual manual online, which is frustrating, but time to switch to battery number 3. All right, switching over to inverter only now. Well, that's interesting. Just a really slow changeover. Well, if you can't see me, it's because all the lights just turned off. The lights turned off before the inverters turned off. Yeah, 121 amps out of that battery. Actually, the way I have these cables running, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the batteries, but then on the distributor it goes 1, 3, 2, 4, 5. Just with the length of the cables, that's how they ended up, because they're all equal length cables. 107 plus 121 plus 248. So that's 476. This might seem like it's getting tedious for you. It is. It's also getting a little tedious for me too. So now we'll hook up battery number 4, disconnect 3, and keep going. Let's see if everything shuts off again. See, that's what it's supposed to do. That was perfect. Turns out battery number 4 is not looking too good either. It shouldn't do this. Oh boy. 108. Just switched over to battery number 5, and if I did my math correct, which I probably didn't because it's now past midnight, this won't take that long. What do we get? 124. Let's do some math. 124, 108, 248, 121, 107, 708. So yeah, that's pretty much on par with what I've been seeing. Sometimes a little more. Not usually any less than that, but that's pretty much it. About 700. Thank you so much for watching. That is the end of this episode video number 1. We tried to accomplish a lot. We tried to get the stove mounted, get the oven mounted, get the batteries fixed, and get the washing machine fixed, and we almost accomplished all of them. So go us. We almost did great on 4 things. But that's just kind of how it goes. I wasn't able to fix any of those entirely, and that's just real life, and that is this life on this sailboat. If you came over here from Expedition Evans, you know that there's something always broken. There's something always to be fixed or repaired or upgraded, and that's a lot of what this channel is going to be. It's going to be me working on things and fixing things, upgrading things, and then hopefully this will give me a space to dive a little deeper into some of the things, because there are times where I like to just dive deep into, you know, amps and wire runs and capacities and things, and I feel like this could be a place to do that. So leave a comment if that's something that you're interested in, if there's something that you would like me to talk more about, or if you have a specific question, put it in the comments. I don't know that I'll be able to answer it, but my hope is that somebody else in the comments can. And this can be a resource, a community where people can ask questions, people can answer questions, and it can just be a place to hang out. So thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out, giving this channel a chance, and I will see you next time.